It is no secret that Disney World can cost a pretty penny.
But a lot of those fees can come from hidden places that you might not even know about.
We're breaking down the hidden costs of a Disney vacation.
When you book a hotel room at Disney, they put a $100 charge on your credit card on top of what you already owe for your room, along with any other maybe outstanding expenses you might have. This $100 hold is for kind of incidental purposes. It could be for anything that you might buy. You can put it towards things you might purchase, like room service, upgraded Wi-Fi. Most of the places don't have room service, so low stress there. Or any other charges that you just haven't paid ahead of time. It also can be there to cover any damage or any issue you might have while you're on your trip. We're bringing this one up first to say don't panic if you see this on your card first thing and think, what the heck is this for? Think of it as a deposit, like if you were trying to go hold an event space for something. If you don't charge anything to the room or if there are no problems, you get your $100 back at the end of your trip. In addition to this $100 that you might see it pop up in your card, you also are going to have something called tourist taxes impact how much you're going to pay for your room. This is going to bump up how much you pay for your resort stay, whether it's at Disney World or even potentially elsewhere, and it's not going to be refunded after your stay because taxes. While Florida does not have a statewide hotel tax, the state does authorize local counties to impose a tax of 3 to 6% on hotel accommodations and short-term rentals. It's a lot of fancy words. There are a handful of things to kind of look out for, and I'm going to read them so that way I don't misspeak. The first is the Tourist Development Tax. You're going to see that called TDT. Orange County actually imposes a 6% TDT on transit rentals, which can include hotels, motels, and short-term vacation rentals, kind of like Airbnbs. The Florida Sales and Use Tax, that's another thing to look out for. The state of Florida is actually going to levy about a 6% sales tax on most purchases, including accommodations. There's also the Orange County Discretionary Sales Surtax. So Orange County adds about 0.5% of sales surtax, bringing the total of your sales taxes to about 6.5%. How is that applied though, and what does all of that mean? So the combined 12.5% is applied to the total rental charge of where you're staying. This can include any of your cleaning fees, and it can include stays of 182 nights or shorter, so that's considered a short-term rental. For example, if a hotel room costs $100 for one night, 6% of the TDT is going to cost you $6. 6.5 of the Florida sale tax is going to be $6.50, bringing it to a total tax addition of $12.50. So a total cost to you is going to be $112.50. That's clean math. If we're focusing on Disney World, all-star rooms can range anywhere from about $150 to $250. Around the 2025 Christmas holiday season, standard rooms are showing about $228 per night. Using that number, you're actually going to look at paying around $30 extra per night on top of what you're already paying for your room. This is unavoidable, and it's also going to kind of not really matter in a super massive way. You're going to see it as you're checking out, but if you're seeing a room that's only $150 and then you go to pay and you're like, why is this technically more than that? It's all of those hidden taxes and fees that are going to be added on top of the total you're paying. And honestly, kind of stinks. Taxes.
Change your mind about your Disney plans? It might cost ya. Now, if you need to cancel your resort reservation, the Disney World website requires that you cancel 30 days out to receive a full refund. But there are different rules when it comes to the reservation type. When it comes to hotel rooms, if you cancel 30 days or more before your scheduled arrival, any and all amounts paid will be refunded except for any cancellation fees from third-party hotels or suppliers. For cancellations made 2 to 29 days before arrival, a refund will be given, but the $200 cancellation fee per package will be kept by Disney. For cancellations made 1 day or less before arrival, or for no-shows, the full price of the package is non-refundable. No refunds are given if you leave early, have unused admission tickets, any unused dining plan credits, or other partially used vacation features. Any refunds granted at Disney's discretion after arrival must be requested in writing within 90 days of departure and may be subject to a $25 processing fee. Your refunds will be given back to you in the original payment method. If you are working with a travel agent, be sure to reach out to them first and know that your refund will be issued through them. Disney is not responsible for how refunds are distributed by travel agents. Now for special experiences. To avoid a Savi's Workshop cancellation fee, you must cancel your reservation at least one day, 24 hours, in advance to prevent a charge equal to the full price of the experience. If you are a no-show, you will be charged the full cost of the lightsaber building experience. Just so you know, that's $274.99. You'll receive a cancellation fee for your private VIP tour equal to 2 hours at the booked rate per tour if you do not provide at least a 48-hour notice. Backstage Magic tours can have a similar cancellation fee. If you don't show up for your tour and you don't cancel at least 48 hours in advance, then you're just gonna have to kiss your money goodbye. You're not getting it back. Now, Hoop-de-Doo Review, Sangria University, Monsieur Paul, Victoria and Albert's, and more specialty dining experiences require advanced cancellations, not just the regular cancellation policy. So read the fine print before you book, okay? Read the fine print. I know we never read the fine print when Apple issues us a new terms, we just hit agree. But for Disney World reservations, read the fine print, okay? Now, restaurants are also included here. Restaurants offering advanced reservations do not allow modifications within 2 hours of the reservation time, and most charge a $10 per person fee to cancel within 2 hours of that reservation time, or if you don't show up at all for your reservation. All right, but here we go. Here is the list of restaurants that do not allow modifications after the reservation is confirmed, okay? Big sirens right here. Here's the list. Cinderella's Royal Table, Hoop-de-Doo Musical Review, Magic Kingdom Fireworks Dessert Parties, Rose and Crown Fireworks Dining Package, Spice Road Table Fireworks Dining Package, Celebration at the Top, the Savor Sparkle thing, and the Top of the World Lounge, many things like that. So a couple very specialty dining restaurants and some of the fireworks, specialty dessert parties, fireworks dining packages, special ticketed things. If you book any of these things, can't be modified. This whole point, long story short, read the cancellation policies carefully before you decide to book something for your Disney World vacation, okay? It's expensive. You need to know what you're buying. You need to know if you can cancel it just in case. Plans change all the time in Disney World, so just know what you're getting yourself into.
Automatic gratuity is going to be another hidden fee that might catch you off guard if you don't know to look for it. While you're budgeting for your Disney World meals, you actually need to remember to kind of figure out that server tip and what that's going to look like when you're traveling. If you're traveling with a party of 6 people or more, the restaurants at Disney World are going to charge you an automatic gratuity of 18% on top of your bill. Technically, Disney isn't supposed to charge that 18% if the 6th member of your party is someone who is under the age of 3, but it has been known to happen. It's totally up to the restaurant's discretion, so if it happens to you, don't be super surprised and don't throw a fit. It's just kind of up to them. Did your server do an outstanding job and you want to give them more than 18%? You can do that. You can just increase the amount, just let them know. I'm sure they'll be super appreciative, but if you're going with a larger party, make sure to budget for that 18% minimum.
Now, going to Disney World in peak tourist seasons is going to mean higher prices in places that you're not even gonna know about or know where to look. So let's talk about peak seasons in Disney World. Prices for Disney World tickets are never ever set in stone, especially when it comes to peak season. If you go to Disney's website and look at their ticket visit guide, it'll show you the standard ticket price point, which is $119 per day. Big reminder here though that is the base price. At the time of filming, of making this video, there is not a ticket as low as $119 until August of 2026. And that's only for Animal Kingdom. And it's on the same day that it's $139 to go to Magic Kingdom. No comment. Adding a park hopper can cost anywhere from $198 to $264 per ticket. First off, the price per day of your ticket decreases with the more days you spend in the parks. Now, Disney's tagline for this is, the longer you stay, the less you pay per day. So Disney's intentionally trying to give you the vibe that you're gonna save money by staying longer, which sounds like a win-win. But really it's a win-win on Disney's part. Because if they keep you in the parks longer, they're gonna keep you spending more money on food, souvenirs, and other experiences of theirs for longer. So, you're still spending more money. Sorry. If you're there during peak seasons like the holidays, spring break, and summer, ticket prices will rise, which is why the $119 price doesn't come in until after school starts back in 2026. If you're paying for peak prices for your Disney park tickets, double check on your hotel costs as well. Hotel prices will fluctuate just like the tickets will. hiking up during peak seasons and weekends. Oh, and don't get me started on surge pricing for food. Character meals have been known to bump up pricing during busy seasons as well. All of that to say, triple check prices and really budget depending on when you want to go during the year. Big tip of the day. Big tip that we always say. That rhymed, I didn't mean to do that. Basically, all we're saying here is budget. And just know ahead of time, the price might increase from when you budgeted back at home to when you get to actual Disney World. It might be higher, and I'm sorry.
The Disney Dining Plan is returning for 2026, and the way Disney promotes it, it is gonna save you a ton of money. At one point in time, that was actually pretty true. Now you have to be a little bit more crafty for this to save you a lot of money. If you're looking for a way to budget your trip, the Disney Dining Plan can actually sink you a little bit further into the Disney World money pit if you're not careful, or if you're not thinking super smart about it. So how can you be smart about it? First, you need to make sure you live by the no credit left behind mentality. This is when you're going to prep ahead of your trip what your credits are and how you're going to use them, and to make sure you utilize every single one. If you leave a single credit on the table unused, you're losing money. The second thing is to make sure you are getting a bang for your buck. So this is one of those things where you're gonna have to do a little math, you're gonna have to do a little pre-planning. You are going to want to buy the most expensive thing you can using your credits. If you're at a dinner and you have a table service credit, I want you choosing the steak or the lobster. I want you choosing the most expensive thing you can for that service or for that dining credit that you're using. If you're using the table service dining credit, use it for dinner. Breakfast is typically cheaper if you're paying out of pocket, so let's get those prices up, because frankly, you've paid for it, and Disney does make it more difficult to really make sure you're breaking even or even saving money by using the dining plan. So be smart about it. I hate to put it this way, but get them for all they're worth. Get every dime you can out of Disney. The one caveat to doing breakfast is if it's a uber expensive character dining meal, that is when we would understand maybe going to breakfast using a table service credit. Snack credits, use them on the most expensive, unique snacks you can. Don't use it on a bottle of water unless it is the last day and you don't care. Even then, that's just because we're being lazy, and I get it, and I'm also that way, but it's not about money at that point. Even with those particular things in mind, you might not even break even on what you're paying for your Disney Dining Plan price. For adults, the quick service dining plan is going to cost you $60.40 per person per night. For adults, for the standard Disney Dining Plan, which is going to give you access to table services, it's going to cost you $98.59 per person per night. For kids, which is ages 3 to 9, the quick service dining plan is going to cost them $26.16 per person per night. And for children ages 3 to 9, the standard dining plan is going to cost them $31.94 per person per night. Now, it can add up really quick. It is based on per night at the Walt Disney World Resort. So make sure you're really doing the math to make sure you're spending at least that much if you're able to. Sometimes you might not be, and that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. One thing that's really important to know in 2026 is they are actually running a special that might be able to really help you hack this system. You can actually get a kids free dining plan, ages 3 to 6, when you purchase a Walt Disney Company travel package. Now that package has to include a room at a Disney Resort Collection hotel and a dining plan for each of the guests in your party ages 10 and up. But if you make sure to hit those minimums, your kids can eat free in Disney World, which can save you a lot more money than you realize. Disney will also occasionally drop free dining for your entire party. It could be if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, it could be if you stay at a certain hotel. They rotate these deals. They're not always guaranteed, but if you spot them, that's going to be a great way to avoid hidden fees and a great way to save a little bit of money. Any deal that you can get on the Disney Dining Plan rather than paying for it outright is going to be a lot better than paying for it outright and kind of getting stuck with spending more money than you're actually getting in your vacation.
Now let's talk about Disney vacation packages. Disney vacation packages usually consist of park tickets, room, dining, and any extra experiences all wrapped up into one nice little convenient purchase bundle. Disney tries to convince you that buying these package bundles is going to save you some serious moolah. Sometimes they could, Sometimes they don't. Disney likes to put in the big bold print that you can save all this money if you're getting a vacation bundle for a 6-night stay. But in reality, that bundle is still available for you if you're only planning on staying 2 nights. This is just more fine print mumbo jumbo. Remember, I told you to read the fine print, and I'm talking about everything. Always read the fine print. So no, you don't have to book a 6-night trip to get that deal. Disney just uses that as an example in their marketing that just so happens to kind of look like a requirement, but it's not. If you can't or don't want to do a week-long trip, you don't have to. You don't have to go to Disney World for a week. Go for a weekend. Go for a 3-day weekend. Like, you don't have to go for a week, okay? You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
I do what I want.
You can get the same deal when you're staying fewer nights. The lesson here, I said it once, I'll say it again, always read the fine print. Don't skip out on a potentially really great deal just because you're staying fewer nights than Disney would like you to. Read over the details, check to see if this deal can still apply to you on your shorter trip. Remember, Disney wants you to stay on their property just as much, if not more than you want to stay there. So that just means more moolah for them. They're going to try to convince you that you have to book the 7-night trip. When you don't, you could get the same deal for 2 nights, 3 nights. They're just not going to tell you that because they want you to spend more money. So big lesson here. Say it.
I do what I want.
Correct. Read the fine print.
Finally, if you haven't been to Disney World in a hot minute, or it's your first time ever and you're reading some older online sources, you need to be careful about being tricked into previously free upgrades or amenities throughout the resort. So a lot of these things, if you are a Disney connoisseur, you're gonna be like, why are we talking about this still? It's because this might catch a lot of people off guard, especially if you've not been in the last 10 years especially. The first of which is magic bands. Once upon a time, if you were staying at a Disney World resort, you actually could score a free magic band. It came for every single person that was staying in your room. They would actually send them to your house beforehand if they had enough time. And it was like one of the most exciting things about staying at Disney World. Like that, for me when I was a kid, getting our magic bands in the mail, getting to choose our free magic band that came with the room was an absolute thrill and joy. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. And now magic bands can range anywhere from about $34.99 to $54.99. Until incredibly recently, October 2025, Disney Resort hotel guests could actually get a discount on pre-purchased magic bands. That's not true anymore either. So pretty much everyone's gonna be paying full price for their magic bands unless you happen to have a random discount like annual pass holder or Disney Vacation Club member. Just get mentally prepared to pay full price for that magic band. Do not hold your breath for free magic bands. They're really taking away my favorite magic band perks. And if you've not been in a long time, you might be still expecting to get them for free, and that's just not the case. Another thing that used to be previously free and can now kind of catch some people off guard in a hidden fee type way is transportation. I know if you know what I'm about to talk about, we're all still disappointed and we'll never not be disappointed about this, I don't think. There used to be something called the Disney's Magical Express. It would pick you up at the MCO airport and it would take you to your Disney World hotel. They would pick up your bags for you and it was just the sweetest way to start your trip. And then they would also take you back into the airport at the end of your trip. It was just so lovely and it was included in your resort stay. That ended back in 2022 and instead you now have to pay for your transportation using taxis, ride shares, or even a bus service that is essentially the exact same thing but you pay for it. So pretty disappointing and disheartening, I would say. Finally, skip the line passes. Those used to be free. We miss you, Fast Pass. That is not true any longer. This one isn't new news as well. All of these things are pretty dated, but a reminder never hurts. Disney World's Lightning Lane services do give you access to the Lightning Lanes for rides, shows, or different entertainment. You bypass that long standby line, but now you have to pay for it. There was a period of time where guests got 3 minimum included in their stay. Now you have to pay for that. That is an upgrade. That is optional, but it can help you maximize your day, especially if you're going to Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, but you can do it at all 4 Disney parks. There are 3 types of Lightning Lanes now. There's the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, the Lightning Lane Single Pass, and the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. They all function differently. It is a whole can of worms to open up to talk about. We have a ton of videos though, breaking them down here on AllEars. So if you really wanna get into the nitty-gritty of those, I promise we have all of that information on the channel. All of this to be said, there was once a time many years ago where these passes were included with your park ticket and you got to just skip at least 3 lines for free. If any of these sound exciting or like a big trip plus up, that is great. Please feel free to grab your Magic Band, pay for a lightning lane, and rent a car. Just don't be caught off guard that you're paying for them, whereas in the past they would have been totally free perks and upgrades involved in your hotel stay.
Are you planning a trip to Disney World? I know, it can feel like juggling churros while riding Space Mountain blindfolded. But don't worry, we here at AllEars have got you covered. Our free Disney trip planning crash course is packed with real, practical tips from people who practically live in the parks. No fluff, just the stuff that makes your trip smoother, cheaper, and way more magical. Ready to plan a vacation you'll be bragging about for years? Jump into our crash course over at AllEars.net/plans. Now, all of this to say, we here at AllEars want to make sure that you are spending your hard-earned money the way you want to, and we just want you to be aware of the hidden fees.
Go ahead and comment this secret code down below and make sure you subscribe because we are actively on our way to hitting our goal of 500,000 subscribers, and we would love it if you help us get there.
And we're getting there, but we need a little bit more help. So tell your friends, tell your family to subscribe for more Disney vlogs, Disney reviews,
tips, tricks, and fun from Orlando to all across the globe. Why? Because we're super serious about fun.
See you next time.